Being from Wisconsin, I was a jump rope for heart and hoops for heart fundraiser through the American Heart Association while that was still a thing. And then through my district, we did a year or two of a booster-thon fun run. And then Health Moves Minds came out, and I've been doing Health Moves Minds since. I feel like there was two reasons. The first reason being that there was no longer a jump rope for heart or hoops for heart event that supported WHPE, our Wisconsin Association, and Shape America. And the second reason being that students were in great need of social emotional learning skills, and Shape America and Health Moves Minds provided the tools I needed to feel comfortable in order to get started with that. And then it doubled as a fundraiser for my physical education program. My favorite part about the fundraiser is that it is flexible enough that I can make it a little bit different every year to keep my students engaged. It is a fabulous way to teach students about kindness and social emotional learning skills. Shape America provides a lot of different resources and lessons and ideas that I can use with my classes, but you're also very flexible in that maybe I don't use the entire lesson verbatim the way you have put it out there. You're very flexible in how I administer that to my students so that it is most functional for their learning as possible. I also really enjoy the different themes that come out. I try to follow the themes that Health Moves Minds offers each year. I have my fundraiser in February during Random Acts of Kindness Week and the week before that. So the fundraiser goes for 2 weeks along with our Health Moves Minds unit and fundraiser in Fayette. I feel like Health Moves Minds has really impacted not only my school, but my entire community in a variety of ways. So it has impacted my students' learning in social emotional wellness. It has also impacted my school as part of the Health Moves Minds program through the year. I do and organize 2 kindness weeks, the first to go along with World Kindness Week, and then the second to go along with Random Acts of Kindness. And it's all part of our Health Moves Minds learning that continues throughout the year besides the unit that we do. I also, as part of those kindness weeks, try to do some sort of community give back besides the Health Moves Minds fundraiser, where we pick a charity, where we collect donations for the food pantry, or we collect used books to give to the Next Door Foundation, where we're supporting our own personal community in a variety of ways and really trying to think outside of ourselves and think outside of our family and our school and how we can impact those around us in a really positive way. So far, we have been keeping our Gopher gift cards, and I often spend it on brand new items that our school does not have. As people know, Fayette items are very expensive. And I do have a school budget, so I try to use my school budget for replacement items for things that get used up. And I try to save the Health Moves Minds Gopher gift cards for brand new things that will increase motivation in my students and in fundraising and really bring on that extra fun and learning in class that maybe we wouldn't have that opportunity to use instead. Some of the items are a slack line to use during our obstacle course. Part of my Health Moves Minds fundraiser is that all students get to do a giant obstacle course for the week and move through different challenges. And a lot of the stuff goes along with that, and we'll use it throughout the year in different units as well. So one was a slack line. Another one is the giant cage ball that students can use in a variety of activities, different balancing objects and stepping stones that we can use. We also have purchased some of those, kind of typical items like more foam hockey sticks and things like that, but I do try to reserve it for new things. At my school, it impacts mostly students in their physical education classes. We use that equipment in our daily lessons or throughout the year, but I am a sharer by nature, and so I am always more than willing to share different items with classroom teachers if they're interested in using something. I collaborate a lot with my classroom teachers on how to try to increase movement throughout the day, or if they have different lessons that they want to do, try to help them come up with physical activities that they could increase their motivation of students with, especially during the few nice months of Wisconsin school year that we have. I also think that it impacts the wellness of my school by just having those kindness weeks and bringing to light a lot of different ways to increase kindness throughout our school. I do a lot of different lessons and activities that maybe I'll pull right from the Health Moves Minds curriculum. If I'm not going to use it in my PE classes, I share it with the classroom teachers as something that they can do and add to their curriculum in their classrooms. Kindness isn't just about physical education, right? Kindness is about your entire community. We also, like I said, collect different donatable items to the different community places in our community and, communities near us, so that we can continue spreading that kindness and thinking outside of ourselves. Amplify kindness was probably my best one yet, as it means to be bigger and louder. And so I really took that theme with my students to try to make our kindness and wellness bigger and louder. I did a music note themed visual for all of students to use. I made music notes starting from real small, where students in our younger grades would just put their name on it. And then all the way to 6th grade, and teachers that are as large as possible, where students would be able to put not only their name, but a way that they can be kind. And they were in different colors. And I made a large swooping kind of wall mural that students could take a picture in front of. My students really enjoy those photo opportunities. And for items that don't stay on the walls in the gym very long, that Amplifying Kindness wall mural, students were so proud of it that it stayed up for months in the gym, which is really impressive with basketball and things going on. We also collected items to amplify our kindness inside and outside of our building. We collected different winter gear items to either keep as a resource for some of our students that may need it in future years, if it was in sizes that we could use. And the rest we donated to a local charity and foundation that we have here in Waukesha County. We also donated food for the food pantry. We collected and donated used books, which I would say was maybe one of the biggest donated items. Parents and families really enjoyed being able to take some of their own items and then give them a new home to somebody who needs them. It provided an avenue for kind of that clean out, but these items are still wonderful and someone should use them. It took a little bit of effort coordinating with our student council to organize and box and get those items where they needed to be. But that was one of the most impactful things I think we did as a school, was coming together to collect those items, count them up, box them up, and then the thank you notes that came from those charities that received those items was really great. Last year, I didn't put in a tangible item. The year before, when it was a superhero theme, I did. I had ordered just some small superhero masks that I put at, one of the smaller amounts. And then we had a superhero kindness day where students could either wear the mask that they earned through our Health Moves Minds fundraiser, or they could just wear any kind of superhero item to show their superhero kindness. Last year with the Amplify Kindness, we did more kind of building level incentives for our students. And so one of the incentives was the grade level student that raised the most funds was able to pick a physical education activity for their whole grade level, which was pretty motivating. Students like to be that PE teacher for a day. And another one we chose was, as a whole school, if we reached our total or our goal for fundraising, all students would be able to throw water balloons at the 2 Phi Ed teachers at our building during our field day, or Rockin' Reagan Day, we call it. Students have learned a great deal from the Health Moves Minds curriculum through the years that we've been doing it. It starts small with the first few lessons that Shape America had put out, with being kind and being respectful. And then managing emotions, especially for those younger ones, just being able to identify their emotions and be able to pick a strategy maybe that they might need to use to get out of, some emotional turmoil and get back to their learning was really important to them. As we've moved through, I've really taken into consideration in my lessons with some of my older students, using some of those skills as thinking about inclusion and diversity, and trying to build in, what is equity with students. I always tie it back to some sort of team building activity. It's such a great avenue for all of these different skills. And it really makes students think about not only what the lesson was through Shape American Health Moves Minds, but their success in their physical activity. It really connects the two thoughts together and really solidifies the lesson in their mind, which is fabulous. I think we're teaching these lessons every single day in all of the things that we do. It has built a community feeling just inside the walls of the gym and beyond, because I bring it further out than just inside the gym. They get to be active, and they're learning how to relate to each other in a respectful, in a cooperative, in a kind way. They're not only just thinking about themselves during these team activities, but they have to think about how their team is going to do, or what impact they might have with their words or actions within our entire class. It's not just a unit that we teach. It is our entire class community all throughout the school year has been impacted by Health Moves Minds. The lesson that comes to mind most is a lesson that I teach every single year, or revisit every single year, which is the mindful parachute lesson. And I do it with all of my students from K to 6 in a little bit different way, but I feel using the visual of a parachute to model mindful breathing and to model the popcorn thoughts that are in your brain and how those can scatter if your brain is scattered or if your breathing is scattered, I think really helps students to remember and be reminded how they can control their thoughts, how they are empowered to control their emotions, and give them those strategies that they need to use every single day. Since we've started using the mindful parachute lesson, there are many teachers in our building that are using mindful breathing and using some of those ideas that were brought forth using the Health Moves Minds curriculum. The resources I shared was the emoji rating scale of kind of how you're feeling. And I've had a few classrooms choose to use that daily with their students as kind of a morning check-in or a after lunch recess check-in, where students might be feeling emotional in one way or another for the positive or maybe not so positive ways. I think that's the one that they use the most. I do like some of the lessons, and I don't have the exact name, but some of the 6th grade and middle school ones that were on social awareness and empowerment. I know that our 6th grade last year used the I Am lesson and activity with their students, as some of the students needed that empowerment and that feeling of positive. Put it out there to our classroom teachers to come up with their own incentives. I also hand out the different classroom level posters to any of the teachers who are interested. I would say that it has kind of a mixed review of if teachers take the time to create those challenges or create that excitement within their classroom. In order to reach all of the classrooms, I always am putting on different things. We have a morning news show. And so every morning of our Health Moves Minds fundraiser, there is something on the news that's different each day that either encompasses the lessons that we're learning in Health Moves Minds, promotes our fundraiser, or promotes the incentives that I have going on in the gym for any classes that maybe aren't as involved as others. Positive feedback from my school is definitely the abundant amount of feedback that I've received through the years of doing Health Moves Minds. Not only do people or classroom teachers or parents love the lessons that their students are coming home and talking about, but they absolutely enjoy the charities that we are supporting in the multitude of ways and with our fundraiser in our community. I do my best to pick or use student council to help me pick local charities that really impact our area. And I would say that is one of the biggest examples of feedback that I get from parents stating that they love that the focus is not on our school, but on our surrounding community. Another positive that I get is that they love how we are supporting health and physical education in our district and in our community and in our state and nationwide. I have found nothing but support from my families and my community and my administrators for physical education and health. And I have students every day that say, we should do this every day, Mrs. Mulloy. And I always say, I agree. Let's keep working on it because it's one of their favorite things. Referring to the charities, as I've stated before, is the largest part and most important part to me. I live and work in a more affluent area where most children are very well provided for. They get to participate in a lot of sports and activities. Their families go on vacations and they get to do a lot that many maybe don't. So I feel like opening their eyes is what these charity foundations have done. We have supported the Ability Center, which is an amazing charity within our community about putting people in a different pair of shoes and showing people that having a physical disability is just having a different ability. And that charity provides many, many opportunities for those who are disabled and normal able-bodied people to play together in different wheelchair activities and wheelchair basketball sports and recreational activities together. They are currently trying to and working on building a park that is a universal park for all different abilities to play in and participate in, complete with walking paths and play pockets and fitness centers and a universal baseball field, which all can play at. Another charity that we've supported is a dog rescue. Our student council wanted to support a dog rescue because who doesn't love cute, fluffy dogs? And that just shows the warmth that helping animals brings to a kid's heart. They got to put up pictures of their pets on my gym doors, and they were super excited and just warmed their heart to help animals. We have supported, or this year we're planning to support a memorial fund for a former student who had committed suicide a few years ago. And it is a mental health awareness fund that my district uses to support mental health and providing mental health resources to students in need. Building those charities and opening students' eyes to what's around them, and that not everybody maybe lives as comfortably as you do, has really opened their hearts to wanting to help more people. Let's first start with sharing the resources that Shape America provides for educators to use in their classrooms. To me, that's the number one best thing that Shape America starts out with providing is, here is this need for your students to learn social emotional wellness, and here are the resources available to you in order to bring that into your child's or into your students' classrooms and into the homes of your families that may need it. And then I always say, in order to support your own program and continue to build those lessons and provide for your students, having a fundraiser just helps to bring in the extras that your students so badly want and need to provide them the best education. We all know that schools around the nation have a difficult time meeting their budgets, and often the first budgets to go are physical and health education supplies and resources. So you have to take it upon yourself, and your families will support you. You don't have to push extremely hard and shoot for the moon unless you think that's something that is going to be what your school needs. But putting it out there and allowing families to choose what's important to them to support, you'll be surprised that they are more than willing to support their child's physical and health education and mental and emotional wellness. Choose to do Health Moves Minds for all of the reasons that I've stated, to support my school and to support health and physical education statewide and nationwide. But most of all, I do it for my students. My students need it. My students love it. There's so much that is already created for you. And if you're anything like me, it just creates this energy and this creativity in me to help keep making it bigger, and helping that fund or using that fundraiser money just keeps bringing it bigger and brighter and amplifying all of that Health Moves Minds within my entire building and within my entire community.